This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Wilder versus Wilder. You have been married 11 years and you are currently separated. Mr. Wilder,
Yes.
Why have you brought your wife to our court?
I'm here today because I dearly love this woman, and I'm here to fight for my marriage and to resolve the issue if she's been lying to me or not about her faithfulness.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Ms. Wilder, what do you want to prove today?
I have been with this man faithfully for 11 years. We have 6 children together. I have never cheated on this man. Never. Yet, I mean, every little thing can give him the idea that I've cheated, and it doesn't have to be proof. Anything. He will
Once
think
bitten, twice shy. Is where I
never
feel.
bitten, never shy.
But here's the thing. You all are living separately, not only separately, but in different states.
Yes, we are.
I'm willing to fight for
All
my marriage.
because you believe that she's cheating.
It's gotten to that point that we cannot be together peacefully because he will not believe that I'm faithful, and I don't want to live that way. Once I can prove to this man that I'm faithful, I would love for us to come back together if he can leave the past behind him.
That's all
and
I want to
move
do
on.
is leave the past behind us and us come to a point to where she admits it and we can move on. I want to leave that behind. I'm tired of it resurfacing.
So you want to show that she's not cheating, but you're afraid that that's what the results will show.
I know in my heart that she has, and I want it eats her away, and therefore it eats away at our marriage. And I want to resolve it. I love this woman. I believe in our vows. She's the mother of my children. I would die for this woman. I just want to move forward in life.
Mr. Wilder, who do you specifically believe Mrs. Wilder has cheated?
A former neighbor of ours.
That's just one of them. He said half of the town that we lived in at one time. He said my doctor at one time. He has smelled my hand when I came out the doctor's office.
Okay, wait. Did you sniff her hand?
I did.
He did.
And what were you sniffing for?
Well, she dresses
It
up for
wasn't
this
lotion.
doctor a lot sexier for him than me. She wears a sleek cut-off shirt and her
No,
boob
sir.
cleavage hanging out. And you don't dress like that for me. But
Okay.
when you go to your doctor's appointment, all of a sudden you're all dolled up and for not your husband.
Well, Ms. Wilder, do you dress provocatively when you go to your doctor's office?
Dress provocatively whenever I want, but I wouldn't
But
call it
not for
provocatively.
me, but not for me.
What for you?
But I will admit, she's a broken lady waiting to be mended. I love this woman dearly. I'm the one
Y'all are
who
broken.
invited the devil into our life. I'm the spiritual leader of our home. I dropped the ball. Happy women do not cheat. I'm the one
That's true.
that's
Unhappy women don't cheat sometimes too, buddy.
Well, I hope that's the case, and I hope I'm wrong.
Did she ever dress provocatively for you in the beginning? Is that how she got your attention?
Yes, she did. In the very beginning, I met Jessica at a restaurant in South Mississippi doing Hurricane Katrina cleanup. She was a young, beautiful woman that caught my eye. She was over in the corner. I looked over, she flashed the come on smile, and there my heart went zippity thump, and she had me right then and there.
And it must be true because she's just grinning. She's just grinning.
Okay, hold up. I want to define provocative because I have my own style and I dress loud as can be, okay? I wear my leggings that's something crazy. That's just how I am. That's just how I dress. So, I mean...
But whatever it is, it worked
It
for
worked,
him.
yeah.
It worked for you
I'm
to
sure
get
it
him.
worked for somebody
Yeah.
else if it was up of mine too, but
We
I
were
love
the-
that fool.
we were the picture.
I ain't never
We were
cheated
the
on
picture
him.
perfect family. I would
You
work,
say we
come
were.
home.
That's not true. You say we were.
I
You say
allowed
we
the
were.
devil in, and you give it inch, he takes them out, and I'm here to fight for my marriage. Death do
invited
us
the devil
part.
in.
Two becomes one flesh, and never will I give up on our marriage. You're my wife. I love you.
Well, I'm
All right,
telling you
Mr. Wilder.
now,
Okay, when you say you let the devil in,
Correct.
what do you mean?
I opened Pandora's box by encouraging us watching porn together, and let this be a witness to everybody and all. That's the downfall of our marriage.
and that ain't where it stops neither.
All right, so whose idea was it to start watching porn?
Well, it always piqued my interest, But she actually, beforehand, if there was a breast that come on the television, I had to cover my head or cover my eyes or get smacked. But she did allow it at one point.
I did at one time.
And she saw a passion in me that brought out that was the devil's lie.
I appeased him to get what I wanted, which
Yeah.
was passion
So
from him. He would ignore me. He wouldn't look at me with any kind of passion in his eyes, and I felt alone, and I was flipping through it, and there it was, and guess what? I got what I wanted, which was passion from my husband, which I did do that. That was the first time that we watched that.
And then after that, I really pushed for it.
So did you do that basically to spice things up?
Yeah, to spice
Take it
things
up a
yeah.
notch.
I mean, to take it up to the first notch, yes.
But
And it took you up to the first notch.
It was fun for a while, but the night that he told me that he wanted to take something to the next step and spice things up even more, it broke my heart. And
Tell me about that.
He wanted to basically involve other people.
dirty talk led to action. And that was involved another couple. And we did it once, and I highly regretted it after it was done.
So who found the couple? How did that happen?
We found them on a website online, and actually.
Okay, but Mr. Wilder, you found the couple.
I did.
Okay, what did you say to him? How do you initiate that conversation?
Hello, how are you?
We got to know this couple first, and then we did what we did the one time, and it did not turn out well.
When you say did what you did, I mean, you were reluctant at first, but you kind of got into the swing of things, right? What happened?
What happened was...
Hold up, he asked me that question.
What happened was...
Woohoo.
After the heat of the moment, it broke my heart because I knew what I'd done, and I basically freaked out and took off down the road.
Well, I don't know what you did.
Without me.
What happened?
Without me, with me running behind.
Okay.
Were you sexually intimate with the other couple?
We were.
Do you regret doing this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Did you ever do it again?
No.
Okay,
right.
so how do you go from swinging to sleeping with a neighbor?
I believe her to be running around with one of her friends' husbands.
That is not true.
I worked all the time. She was a stay-at-home mother, and this man did not work either, and they had a relationship that I thought was inappropriate.
Okay,
And
Mr. Wilder, what was inappropriate about it?
her and him communicating together on the phone.
Your wife can't talk.
What kind of communication? Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. She would leave the room. You have to ask her.
But how do you know it was
I would leave
inappropriate?
the room, would I?
Well,
that is not
how
true.
would you like some man calling your wife half the time? Would you call that appropriate?
yeah.
Yeah. Would you? You would call that appropriate? Some man calling you all the time?
All the time?
All the time? You leave the room every time a man calls?
That's not. I did not leave the room every time that.
Oh,
man
Okay,
yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know that it's inappropriate on its face, but I love you and I want you to feel comfortable, and if it made you feel uncomfortable, I would not do it. And I would
Right.
tell him not to call me.
Okay.
Mr. Wilder, did you tell your wife you were uncomfortable with that relationship?
I made it very clear to both of them that I was uncomfortable with this relationship.
So what did you do with that information? Did you stop having that relationship with him, whatever it
No,
was?
I didn't.
Did you have feelings for this gentleman?
Absolutely not.
There was no emotional tie with
Nothing
him.
whatsoever.
Mr. Wilder,
What else?
do you believe that?
Come to my
No, I
house
don't.
with my friend.
When my antennas first went up was when I would hear her
Oh,
talk
Lord,
on the
those
phone.
antennas.
It sounded like the way she used to talk to me. I found a condom wrapper on the bathroom
Yes, he did.
sink that had been ripped open. I never use condoms. Why is there condoms in the home? And I had been out of town for a week working. And I come home and there's an empty condom wrapper on the bathroom counter.
Okay,
with
so
no
let me make
condom,
sure I
just the
understand.
wrapper.
Let me make sure I understand. You've been out of town, you come home and find in the bathroom an empty condom wrapper.
Correct.
And you said what?
I said
How do you
yes.
explain that?
He did find an empty condom wrapper. My kids love to blow up condoms.
The older kid,
Okay, wait.
No, I'm serious.
Okay, if your husband doesn't use condoms, how do you know they like blowing them up?
Because I got them from the health department in a little brown
Why
paper
are you
bag.
getting condoms from
Because
the
I'm
health
a hoarder
department?
half the time. I get whatever. I'll get something if it's free. I mean, it's free. And I just had them. I know it don't make sense, but seriously.
Ron, are you buying this?
Don't buy
Okay.
it. That's what I get it. I don't buy it either. No, I know it sounds weird. I know it does. If I was of a mind to cheat, I would send the fella, first of all, back with his rubber and his wrapper. I wouldn't be leaving it in my house. And second of all, like the underwear,
The boxers that aren't mine. I wear
They-
briefs most.
Yeah.
Please tell me about
Explain
this.
that, Mr. Wilder. You found on the floor, on the bed, on the chair, on the dresser. Where were the boxers?
On the floor.
On the floor in your bedroom.
Correct.
Okay. So you look at the boxers. Do you wear boxers?
No, sir, I wear briefs.
Okay, so you don't even wear boxers.
Correct.
So immediately you know they're not yours.
Correct.
All right. So you see the boxers. What do you do then?
I ask her, whose boxers are these?
And what response did she give you?
I think she blamed it on one of her teenage nephews.
I had been packing my house up, getting ready to move to Georgia. Okay, I don't know how they got on my bedroom floor, but I guarantee you I wasn't doing nothing with nobody and sent him home without his underwear. But they weren't his boxers because they weren't his size, and my family members come and stay with me all the time, and I had just had one stay with me and leave. So, I mean, I don't know whose they were. Honestly.
You don't know whose, this mysterious pair of boxers, you don't have any idea whose they were.
And you know what?
Not
I
specifically
might
at the
believe
moment.
that. I might believe that. But not on your bedroom floor. I mean, if they were in the bathroom or the
Yeah,
laundry
why-
room or
I
the
wouldn't
kids'
think-
room.
And
It would
another
be easy
issue
for
I
me
have
to-
is her cell phone is full of sexy, provocative selfies that aren't sent to me, and she is very secretive with her phone.
I'm
and she says,
secretive with my
hundreds
phone
of
because
pictures, and
he
I'm
broke
not
my phone.
receiving any of these pics.
So when you say
These are
provocative
bras and
pictures,
panties, and look at me.
okay. Ms. Wilder, do you have these pictures in your phone?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Selfies?
Yes.
Okay.
She even
Are
bought
you
a
sending them
selfie
to your
stick.
husband?
I did one time until he got mad and said that picture looked too good. I must be sending it to somebody else. And so guess what?
You started sending to
Send
somebody else.
Okay, I did start sending them to somebody else because he told me that we were over with one night. He told me basically I was a piece of crap. I've been with this man for 11 years, and he keeps pushing me and pushing me. And finally one night I broke, and I started messaging somebody else, and he told me to.
It was just a smart aleck moment when I was like, I don't care, it's over, do what you will. It's not, I didn't instruct her to do it, I said, do what you will.
So that was you were angry and you just lashed out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ms. Wilder, we've got the condom wrapper and we've got the sexy pictures and we got the boxers. Are you telling this court that you have not had sexual relations with any man other than your husband, excluding the couple that you were with? That was consensual.
Nobody else.
Aside from that.
Nobody else.
So 11 years of marriage is on the line.
Absolutely.
Well, to get to the bottom of this, the court has ordered a polygraph examination for Ms. Wilder, and we have the results. Ron, would you please escort our certified polygraph examiner, Mr. Michael Williams, into the courtroom?
Yes, Sean.
As a certified polygraph examiner, you've probably seen lots of cases with people being accused of infidelity.
Yes, sir.
Well, in this case, Ms. Wilder was asked a series of questions. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right.
You asked Ms. Wilder this question. Since being married to Mr. Wilder, other than the one time he is aware of, has she had sexual contact with a neighbor? What was her response?
She said no.
What did the lie detector reveal?
The lie detector determined that Mrs. Wilder was being truthful.
Y'all ain't gonna clap for me. I'm told the truth.
Mr. Wilder, is that the answer you were looking for?
Yeah, I can't help it, I have a suspicious mind.
Yes, you can help it. Don't say you
Well, we
can't.
gonna come back to
Hey,
that.
I love her and thank God for it.
Hold on, we have one more question.
Okay, let's hear it.
Mrs. Wilder was asked, was the condom Mr. Wilder found in the bathroom from a sexual encounter she had with another man? What was her response?
She said no.
What did the lie detector reveal?
The lie detector instrumentation determined that on this question, she was being truthful.
I told you.
All right.
So, Mr. Wilder, what does this mean for you?
This means that I'm sorry, Jessica. I have a suspicious mind.
No.
And
no,
listen,
no.
hey.
I don't want to hear no, I have a suspicious mind.
Well, I'm sorry,
You're
I'm
sorry.
goofy.
I appreciate that.
I love you.
But you
and-
need to do something about that suspicious mind because I'm done with it. I'm done.
Okay.
You know, your husband has said to you, you're not doing the things you used to do. You need to do some of that. Not all the time, not every day, because 6 kids later, you don't feel like doing all that all the time. But you need to make a date night. Mr. Cutler and I have a lunch date every Wednesday, and we work together. You need to do those things, and it will make him feel differently that you're engaged.
You all are engaged. You've been together for 2.5 years. Ms. Pack, you have just recently moved out of the house, and allegations of cheating are destroying this relationship. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your eyes are telling me you've got something you need to say about this. What's this doing to your relationship?
It's ruining it. I'm here to prove to him that I've never cheated on him. He's very jealous. He's very insecure. He said he wanted a younger woman, but he can't handle me.
I don't know, Mr. Cutler, about being handled, but okay.
I can handle it.
When you say he's jealous, what do you mean?
He's jealous. If there's any man around, oh, you're looking at him, you're gonna flirt with him. He always feels like there's a threat of me being with some other man.
And you're saying, I don't want to be with anybody but you.
Exactly.
And he's
Yes, Your
not
Honor.
listening to that.
No, he's not.
Mr. Jordan, she says she's not cheating. You don't believe that.
I don't believe it, Your Honor, because her actions, Your Honor. Like, when she goes out, she doesn't answer her phone. We don't have sex anymore, Your Honor. We don't even get up. We don't talk to each other like, you know, we're not best friends like we used to be. It's just our relationship is just totally different. So I feel like somebody else is involved. It's just not us two.
Your man's intuition is saying something's wrong, and the wrong is cheating.
It's cheating.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned that he can't handle a younger woman. I notice here from the court papers that there is a 30-year age difference between you two.
Yes.
That's
Mr.
right.
Jordan,
That's right.
some people want to give you a high five. I'll refrain. Okay,
high?
we'll give him a high five, yeah.
And then there's some folks who are like, what? And they down low, man. They down here.
How does a 50-year-old man meet a younger woman?
I was walking through the mall. I had just drunk some coffee, you know. I'm feeling good, excited. And look, I see Zay. So I'm like, I got to get to know her. So I shot my shot. You know, we talked for a few minutes, we exchanged numbers, and then I sent her a text, she sent me a text back, and we went from there.
All right. Well, that's one way to get it done.
That's how you do it.
What was it about him
None.
that made you say, okay, let me talk to you?
His eyes, he talk really smooth. His smile, he not backing down. Once he want what he want, that's what he gonna get. So, and it wasn't rude. He's just fun.
I wouldn't have guessed he was 50. I mean, you well.
Yeah, he look good for
well
his age.
preserved.
That's how I got it. That's how I got it, you know.
What happened to destroy the trust between you two?
We got into an argument on a Saturday morning because I felt like Zay was cheating because how she lied about her whereabouts, doesn't answer phones. So I decided to tell a lie that I had messed around with somebody to make her mad. And it got her so mad, she said, I've been holding this in. I did sleep with our neighbor.
So you baited the trap, and she fell for it.
And she fell for it, Your Honor. Then she reversed it. She said I was lying. I just said that to make you mad, to see how you was gonna react. But
Miss Pat.
I don't believe she was lying.
Your Honor, the reason why I said that, he had been asking me for like 6 months and accusing me, oh, you're sleeping with this guy, you're sleeping with this guy. Then he says, oh, I slept with my ex. So I'm like, I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine. I did sleep with him, but I never did. I never cheated on him. But that's what he wanted. He was pressing for it.
Okay, can we take a time out right here? Mm-hmm. May I just suggest, for future reference, don't use spite and anger as a weapon. It will never get you the results you want. We have an agreement. We have an agreement, right, Mr. Cutlers?
We have an agreement.
That when you're that mad, just step away.
And one of the things we try to do is never say anything that you can't take back, whether it's a bad comment, whether it's a nasty name. And once you put out there, well, I slept with so-and-so, it's hard to say, I was just doing that to make you mad. I didn't really do that. Because that seed is already planted in their head and you can't get rid of it.
You can't unring the bell.
You cannot unring the bell, so you definitely don't want to do that. But you say that she lies about her whereabouts and you have some suspicions about this particular neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is it about this neighbor that caused you to believe that she's cheating with him?
I worked 2 in the morning to 11. So what I decided to do was leave a voice recorder underneath our bedroom dresser. While I was at work.
Something to record?
Something to record it.
Oh.
And when I came home, I listened to it. And to me, I know I heard a man's voice in our bedroom. But they say that it was one of her family members' voice. Then the phone got wet and no longer worked, so we can't hear the recording no more. She destroyed it.
Your Honor, that is not true. For
Yes,
one thing, Willis has a habit, he talks to himself. Before he went to work that day, he was talking. He was talking. When he rewind back the recording to me, that was his voice. So on top of that,
it was like 3 hours into the recording when I heard the voice.
On top of that, he took a shower later that day. He kept the phone. So how did I destroy it?
Did you tell him it was a family member in your bedroom and that's whose voice it was? Because that's what he's saying you told him.
It was family members there.
Then why'd you say it was his voice? It was him talking to himself.
When it first started, there was somebody talking. It had to be him. Nobody else was up until later. If it was one later on, that was once the family members woke up. It had to be them, because I was asleep. The whole time he was at work, I was asleep. So how could I cheat on him?
And you're saying there were no other men in your bedroom that you were having sexual relations with?
No, there was not, Your Honor, no.
And Mr. Jordan, you don't believe that?
I do not believe that, Your Honor.
Has Miss Pack done anything else to make you think she's cheating?
Yes, she teases me with sex. She'll get up like an hour before I go to work, take a shower, get back in bed with no clothes on. But will not let me touch her. If you're not wanting to have sex with me and we home together every day in the bed every night, as many guys as you say talking
Your
to
Honor,
you.
I don't believe in giving my body to somebody who doesn't respect me. And sometimes we don't finish because in the middle of it, he'll stop and ask me, "Oh, did you sleep with this guy in the middle of sexual intercourse?"
I don't think I never
So at that point, it's like I'm not even turned on anymore. Like, no, thank you.
That's not true. She says she's not teasing me, but we'll be in the house. She'll put my favorite dress, house dress that she know I love, with no underwear or nothing on it. Then ask me to rub her feet. Then if I try to go further, stop. You can't do that. Why come in and show me all that and you know what I'm gonna wanna do once you show it to me?
Well, Ms. Pack, I mean, let's just cut to the chase. Are you teasing him with sex?
No, everything's not about sex. Just because I want to walk around with my dress and no underwear, I should do that. Everything's not about sex. You should be able to look at me and not touch me as your woman, appreciate me with your eyes.
Cutler, she is saying, look, he is bringing up infidelity in the middle of sex. That's not sexy. That's not gonna make me hot for you. And I get that. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I get all that. But the fundamental issue here, what Mr. Jordan is saying is, she's a 20-year-old, vibrant young woman. She's got to be having sex with somebody if it's not me. That's his issue. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right.
Okay.
You keep saying she lies about her whereabouts. What do you mean by that?
Okay, our child had his 1-year physical coming up. So then she makes an appointment on a Monday. And then she pops up with this interview all of a sudden.
Okay, is this the exhibit that you brought?
Yeah.
Okay, can you step to the plasma?
So she makes an appointment for a physical.
She makes an appointment for a physical.
Okay.
And then she come up with an interview the same day for the appointment.
Okay.
So she goes about a mile down the street to her appointment, which is at the beauty store. So I'm in the doctor's office. I check the GPS, because I check it to see which, I don't trust that she's where she's supposed to be. Her GPS shows her leaving the beauty store, going to this hotel from 10:15 to 11.
Huh.
All right.
So now I'm heated like that. So I got the kids, we walking down the street to the beauty store. I check it again. It shows her back at the beauty store.
From 11:03 to 12:06. She's there for an hour.
Now she's back at the beauty store. She was at the hotel for 45 minutes.
So you believe she was at the hotel with a man?
Yes. Yes.
Miss Pat.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why were you at the hotel for 45 minutes?
I was never at the hotel, and I told him that he could go into the beauty shop and ask her to pull her cameras to show him I never left. He didn't want to. He just wanted to accuse me. And
The
I told
GPS
him
is lying
before,
on him.
a couple weeks before that, we were there, and I went back to that date and I showed him. It comes up as the hotel address. It's already in his mind.
So is it possible, Mr. Cutler, given the proximity, that it accidentally pinged at a different spot? I'm just putting it out there.
Well, Your Honor, I got another example, if I could, about the GPS.
Okay.
Okay. Let's step
Oh,
back to the
okay.
monitor.
Go back.
Okay. We live here.
Okay.
We get into an argument on the Saturday.
Okay.
Zay say I want to go stay at a family member's house.
Okay.
So here it is, like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's an hour and 2 minutes away. I check her GPS, and it shows her here. So why is it pinging you 5 minutes from our house the whole night, moving around in this area, when you're telling me that you in Baltimore? Then you go further to say it was you moving around, when I know that I'm in the house in the bed.
All right, Ms.
Okay,
Pack,
Mr. Jordan,
this is a
thank
good
you
one.
very much. Now,
How are you 5 minutes away from where from your house
Your
the whole
Honor,
night?
This has happened before. He's called me and he saw that I'm at my family member's house. So this time when it happens again, I guess he just decided I'm going with what I think. And I explained to him, if your GPS is on my phone and your phone, it'll bounce back and forth. But he don't want to believe me. Because
But
I
he
know
said
I
the
live there.
GPS will bounce back and forth.
He has my email for the GPS on his phone and my phone. So sometimes it picks up both locations. And I try to break that down to him, but he didn't want to listen.
So why is it showing you moving around if I'm in the house sleep?
I can't be two places at once.
If I'm in the
One
house
time,
sleep,
you
one of
were
us had to
there.
be up
Ms.
to
Pack,
moving
I
around.
got to cut to the chase. Have you been with another man since you've been with Mr. Jordan?
No, Your Honor, I have not. Never.
Sound like you're nervous.
And
I'm
all
not
of this,
nervous.
Well, Mr. Cutler, here's the testimony we have. First of all, you believe that Ms. Pack is cheating with a neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
The other is that you say that she lies about her whereabouts. And then the other is that you have noticed that your sex life has changed.
Has changed tremendously.
And then the final piece is she seems to be teasing you with the sex.
Exactly.
So all of those things together have convinced you, Mr. Jordan, that Ms. Pack is in fact cheating.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you find out that in fact she is cheating, this relationship will be over.
Yes.
It's killing you.
so Ms. Pack, you understand your relationship with Mr. Jordan is at stake. So before we continue with our investigation, we want to give you a chance to come clean and tell us what you need to tell us. Tell Mr. Jordan what you need to tell him at this point, right now.
It's nothing to tell. I never cheated on him. Never.
Okay.
This court has done a full and complete investigation to determine, is she cheating? At this time, the court will call certified polygraph examiner Michael Williams. Ron, please show Mr. Williams into the courtroom.
How are you, Mr. Williams?
Doing fine, thank you, Your Honor.
You did a polygraph examination of Ms. Pack, is that correct?
That's correct.
You know, I'm looking at Mr. Jordan, and you look utterly stressed. How are you doing?
Not good.
What's going through your mind right now?
That I hope, that, man, I love Zay so much, man. And I just hope she's not cheating. She's my dream woman. I mean, if I could pick one woman that I could be with, it would have been Zay.
So are you ready to hear these results?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. It's a lot at stake here, Mr. Williams.
Ma'am.
Ms. Pack was asked, the day of your interview, did you have sexual intercourse with another man at the hotel near the beauty shop? What was Ms. Pack's response?
Your Honor, she said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
Your Honor, the lie detector determined she was being truthful.
You know, Mr. Cutler, my hands are sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so worried for him. It's gonna be okay.
Mr. Jordan, are you okay?
All right. All right.
We still have one more question. Ms. Pack was asked, since the start of your relationship with Mr. Jordan, have you had sexual intercourse with any man other than Mr. Jordan? What was her response to that question?
Your Honor, she said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
Regarding this question on sexual intercourse, Your Honor, the lie detector determined Ms. Pack was being truthful.
Miss Pat, you about the coolest cucumber I've seen in a long time. Would Mr. Jordan be able to turn around so you could move forward?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan, you came here for answers. Are you going to be able to let this go? Because in order for this relationship to go forward, you have got to trust her.
And you already out the house right now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So she may not come back home. She needs to hear it.
She'll be back.
Okay, but she
I'm
won't
what
be.
I need to do to make sure that she come back.
All right, and so that means you're gonna be able to turn this thing around.
I'm gonna turn it around. For her, I can do that.
All right. Miss Pack, you heard it from his lips. Are you willing to come home and see if he can make it happen?
No.
You're not?
No, I don't want to be with him. It's too much damage done.
She say she don't want to be with me, right? I don't believe that. Say I'll be back home. But they say she don't want to be with me no more. I don't believe that.
So, Mr. Jordan and Miss Pack, I don't know that we're gonna come to a final decision here. But what I'm gonna suggest is that you all start off as friends and try to build that relationship. You're living together and are brand new parents. And the joy of parenting has been tarnished by cheating allegations. Mr. Banks, tell me why you are here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I've been with my girlfriend Alyssa a little over a year now, and we have a 2-week-old baby together. And I'm just worried about her sleeping around with other guys and her baby daddy. And I'm out here working 2 jobs to provide for my baby, and I'm just not sure if the baby's mine anymore.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot.
You got a lot going on.
So, Miss Johnson, you're a new mommy. Tell me, I mean, it's enough to be trying to get a baby right, get them on a feeding schedule, sleeping schedule. What are you here for? What are you here to do?
Well, I'm here to prove to Derek that I am not cheating. I have not been sleeping around since we got together. Yes, I do co-parent with my first son's father. Yes, we have exchanged sexual text messages in the past, but nothing is going on between us. The allegations are so far out of hand that Derek does not claim my child. I just want to prove that I'm not doing anything, that I'm innocent, and we can decide what we're going to do with our relationship from there.
Okay, wait a minute. But did you say to me that you exchanged sexual type text messages with your ex?
Yes, I have in the past.
Do you think that didn't an issue?
I mean, it's an issue because it occurred, but it was on some tit for tat more than anything.
So you did this to hurt him?
Yes.
Yeah, it's never a good choice. Because I'm sure the fact that you saw those messages makes you think she's cheating with him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it just fuels your flame that something's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me some of the things that you've seen that make you think that Miss Johnson's cheating.
Yes, ma'am. Her baby daddy, there was a time we got into an argument, and she told me she needed time apart. And she told me during this time apart that she was gonna be with a friend in a hotel and they were just gonna be chilling. And she even FaceTimed me naked in the bed or whatever. So I'm thinking everything was okay. And
what kind of friend?
A female friend. She said she's gonna be with a female friend in a hotel.
Wait, let me slow you down just for a second, because I'm processing this. It was okay for her to be naked in the bed with a female friend?
And you were okay with that?
Well, you know, females, I figure, you know, females feel comfortable sometimes taking their clothes off in front of each other, so I didn't really think much of it.
Okay, all right, if you good, I'm better. All right. The next day you said she called you.
Yeah, she called me and asked me to pick her up from a store with the car seat and the baby, and she was in pajamas, and I'm just wondering why you with your friend, why would your friend drop you off at a store with your baby and a car seat that's, by the way, only 5 to 10 minutes away from the house, but howsoever she's stranded, I go and pick her up.
Wait. What did she say when you picked her up?
She told me her friend dropped her off at the store.
In her pajamas?
In her pajamas, and had the baby with the car in the car seat and all.
All right,
And
so then what happened?
I pick her up from the store, we head on to the house, but as we get to the house, and we're pulling in the driveway and everything, we get in the house, I see messages come through her phone from her baby daddy saying how she left things in his trunk, when are you available to come back and get them?
Okay, all right. So now you see all this, you start to put two and two together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what did you say to Ms. Johnson after you saw those texts?
I confronted her and I said, it's obviously you haven't been with your friends, so why don't you go ahead and tell me where you really was and what really happened. Hold
on, what did you say?
I told him that I was at my baby dad's house.
Uh-huh. Why'd you lie to him?
Because we were already going through something. What in the first hand made me even call my baby's father is I found out that he was talking to his ex about stuff that I disclaimed to him about what me and my baby's father was going through.
But what's his name, your baby's father?
His name is Sakim.
All right. And what were you talking to him about?
So I told Derek, I was telling him just things that me and Sakim had been through, and I come to find out that Derek was disclaiming these things with his ex-girlfriend. She calls me saying that she just wants to talk to me, get to know me. So within this, she actually goes and she's telling me all the things about my life that I didn't told Derek. So I called my baby dad and go to his house to just vent.
But if y'all was just venting while you were at your baby dad's house, you also admitted to me that you so-called took a bath and he came and got in the bath, y'all was in the bath together, but the baby was in the tub and nothing happened.
Okay, wait a minute, hold up. Before we get to that, you're saying that your response to Mr. Banks telling his ex about your relationship with Mr. Sakim,
it wasn't necessarily the relationship. It was just things that we're going through on a personal level, court-wise. He was disclaiming all of those things with her.
And that hurt you?
Yes.
It hurt you deeply.
Where does the naked FaceTime come in?
Well, I was in Sakim's guest room, actually, and me and my son were in the bed going to sleep. I always sleep naked. This is something Derek knows. I sleep with no shirt or nothing on. So it's something that he's known, and we were in the bed going to sleep at the time. So that's why I was naked in the video chat.
But you were in a separate room?
Yes, I was upstairs in the guest room.
Away from Mr. Sakim?
Yes, and his room is downstairs.
And you're saying nothing happened while you were there?
No, nothing occurred. When I go to Sakim's house, because I love his bathtub, I always take a bath there. So me and the baby were in the tub. And while we're in the tub, he comes and asks, can he join to get in the tub? Me thinking nothing of it because it's nothing sexual for me. We've done it plenty of times before taking the bath together. I would allow him to get in the tub with me.
You say you've taken many baths with him before?
Yes, it's just something we do as a bonding thing. We all, plenty of times before, me, my son, and Sakim have to bath together.
Yes. All three of you. Okay, but you're in a relationship with Mr. Banks. Why are you bonding, getting in the tub, or allowing somebody to get in the tub with you?
I mean, I was just hurt at the situation of what occurred for me to even be there, so I wanted him to hurt as well.
Is that tit for tat thing you were talking about?
I feel compelled to ask you this. Do you have feelings for Mr. Sakim? You're bonding with him. Do you want to be with him?
It's not necessarily that I want to be with him. It's just that I feel more comfortable speaking to him about certain things.
You have to recognize an intimacy there if you're bathing with him. Are you sure you don't want to be with him?
Yes.
Mr. Banks?
Yes, sir.
Clearly this is upsetting you, we all can imagine. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I just really want to know if she want to be with her baby daddy. It seems like that's what she wants, because I'm here trying to be a man to her and work, and I love her, and I'm trying to provide and be with her, but I just want to.
Well, you know what, Mr. Banks, we do too. There's your story, there's her story, and there's the ex-boyfriend story. He is here. Please bring him out, Mr. Ron.
How y'all doing?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing my best.
All right. Would you state your name, please, for the court?
Agmo Sakim Ray Elbey, but you can call me Sakim.
All right. Is it okay if I call you Mr. Sakim?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Mr. Sakim, what is your relationship with Ms. Johnson?
I I want to clarify for the courts that that's the mother of my child, and I'm the father of her child, not no baby daddy and baby mama. We don't do that around here. I'm grown.
Okay.
That's the mother of my child.
We're good. We're good. What we want to know, though, what happened the night that she spent the night at your house? There's been testimony that at some point she was in a bathtub with not only her son, but with you.
Yeah.
While she's in a relationship with Mr. Banks.
Pretty much, man, I'm cultural. I believe, like, you know, village baths. We took baths in villages in the ancient time, you understand? I ain't on this modern day type buffoonery and all that. I'm with ancient culture, you understand? So we're in the tub together as a bonding thing, and my son not only can see her and I together because I didn't grow up with my mother and father, she didn't grow up with her mother and father together, you understand?
So, Mr.
He can have a different outlook on life, you feel me?
So, Mr. Sakeem, let me just cut
And
to
it
the chase.
and it can serve some water, too.
All right, so you're being environmental, you're being cultural.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, you're saying that there was no sexual activity that took place.
Nah.
She stayed with you overnight.
Yeah.
You did not have sex with her that night.
Nah, she went upstairs in the guest room.
All right, and then
Sexual contact. Any sexual contact?
Nah.
No hugging, no kissing, no fondling, no nothing.
My son was in the tub. I ain't stupid.
Okay.
And I ain't
all right.
subjecting my son to that type of thing, man. Come on with that.
Okay. But we have to ask the question.
I mean, I understand, but that's kind of, you know,
All right.
my son was there. My son was right there in the middle, man.
I understand, but here's the thing. We are here because of an issue of infidelity. All right. Okay. So we have to ask the questions, even though they may seem offensive.
I mean, my apology about my tone.
Okay.
I did kind of take a look because I'm like, yo, my son right there, Cuff.
Okay.
But let's keep it real, though. Let's keep it real. What's your relationship with her? I mean,
yo, that's my friend.
Do you want her back?
If she can change some things and I can change some things about myself, I mean, you know, I would give it a try, but I'm not saying so readily right now, like, yeah, I want her back like that.
So the bottom line is, you want to leave this court with the fact that that night that she was at your house, nothing sexual happened.
Nah.
All right.
Okay. No, I wasn't even in that space at the time. I don't even think she was either.
Is there any reason, besides the fact that all of these things have gone on, that you're suspicious about the baby's parentage? Is there any other reason that you might be wondering whether or not you're the father?
Yes, Your Honor, because there has been times she has told me, I don't know if she said it out of anger or if she meant it, but I went to pick up the baby one time and she said, I don't know why you're picking up a baby that don't belong to you. And there's a time she was laying on the bed with the baby and she was talking to the baby saying, you want to go over your dad's house? And obviously she wasn't talking about me because lately I've been living there with her. And there was also another time that she told me it was his baby.
Mr. Sakim's baby?
Yes, ma'am.
She told you that it was his baby?
Yes, ma'am. She's told me it's 3 times, and my baby is only 2 weeks.
All right.
Ms. Johnson, that's right for the jugular. Why would you say that if it weren't true?
Well, what steamed me to say it is because of the simple fact of he was comparing my daughter to my son, saying that she looks just like my son that me and Sakim share. And so I said, well, if you feel that way, then you're not the father then. If you're going to keep saying that she looks like him and saying that he's the father, then why are you trying to bond with a baby that's not yours?
That tit for tat thing.
Y'all some rough people. I mean, you don't look outside your own window. That's why y'all here, I guess.
Before we get to the question about whether you're cheating on him, he has some concerns about the paternity of the child because you raised those issues. And so we have performed a DNA test and we have those results right now.
So, to determine who is the biological father of 2-week-old Nevaeh Banks, Mr. Banks and Mr. Sakeem submitted to paternity testing. DNA Diagnostics has prepared the results. And the results are as follows. Nevaeh's biological father is Mr. Banks.
Thank you.
So the fact that we know that the baby belongs to you doesn't resolve all the issues. There still is the issue of infidelity.
So to answer that question of whether Ms. Johnson has been cheating, this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, the court will call certified polygraph examiner Kendall Shull to determine, is she cheating? Please show Mr. Shull. Mr. Shell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. How are you?
Doing fine. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
You conducted a polygraph examination of Ms. Johnson, is that correct?
I did, Your Honor.
You asked Ms. Johnson, since being in a relationship with Mr. Banks, have you had physical sexual contact with anyone other than Mr. Banks? What was Ms. Johnson's response?
She said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful, Your Honor.
All right, the last question. You also asked Ms. Johnson, since being in a relationship with Mr. Banks, have you had sexual intercourse with your child's father, Mr. Sakim? What was her response?
She said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful, Your Honor.
All day long. All day long. He a fool. He a clown. And she is out of his league.
However,
what?
She did reveal that she and Mr. Sakim did wash each other's backs in the tub.
Oh, okay.
She says that there was no sexual contact, and she does feel like it was wrong for them to have done this.
Well, Ms. Johnson, we have the truth that you have been faithful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm still confused between the two. Part of me wants a family because we just had a baby, and just to prove to him that I'm not doing anything in hopes that we can decide where we go from there.
And Mr. Banks, is this the woman you want to be with?
With all due honesty and respect, I do love Alyssa. I do want to work it out with her, but I don't want to force myself upon someone that don't really want to be with me and give me their all.